I grew up watching the end of the great NBA. Like
See,
that
I got all the 80s and 90s. I got the best the NBA ever was, ever will be.
But I got the last great era of NBA basketball. I got to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And they suited up every night. They played, and the game was far more physical than it was 10 times more physical.
Look,
you drive the lane and just get, hammered. Now you can't even play defense.
I'm gambling again.
On this episode of Bustin' Chops and Calling Shots, we talk a little MLB news. Injury bug has already bit in spring training. The Dodgers lose Gavin Lux out for the season with a torn ACL. Joe Musgrove is going to be out indefinitely for the Padres with a toe issue. Rob Manfred pushing for that salary cap, so it'll be interesting to see if that develops. Give you some NBA news. Obviously, big loss for the Lakers with LeBron being out at least a couple weeks. Kevin Durant, we talk about his first game with the Suns. We break down all the NHL news, trade deadline, lots of moving and shaking going on. We give you some NFL news as well. Carson Wentz released from the Commanders. Derek Carr meeting with the Jets, Panthers, and Saints at the Combine. We talk a little bit about the Ravens and Lamar Jackson. And John gives you some tips in his betting corner.
You're listening to Bustin' Chops and Callin' Shots.
Who said anything about gambling? It's not gambling when you know you're going to win.
All right, welcome to the show, everybody. John Boy, how's your week treating you?
Well, I tell you what, man, this last week of college basketball,
tricky.
You just don't know what these teams, because here's the problem, right? A lot of these teams, this game means nothing. This last week means nothing because going into this week, you pretty much know what you have to do in your conference tournament, and nothing about this week matters if you get knocked out in the first round of your conference tournament. So, I've kind of got doped into taking some heavy favorites money line, which aren't my type of bets, right? But like tonight, Providence, God, laid $1.75 with those buzzards. But look, they were 15-0 at home and lost by two at Xavier. Xavier was coming into town. And you just think, man, that's a good spot. And instead, typical John bets, Notre Dame +4, I leave that on the table. So just very frustrating. But this NBA parlay is going to cruise. Suns and Celtics, Durantula, Phoenix. If they can keep that group healthy, geez Louise, they can score the ball. And Boston's the best team in the East. I don't want to hear about Giannis. I darn sure don't want to hear about the 76ers. God bless it. Did it to me again. I've been hacked.
That's right, man. You could bet.
Swear. You and technology are just a nightmare.
Anyway, so, we got that cruising in. Kansas State's cruising. We need Northwestern to kick it in. I've had to do a lot of money line parlays because, like I said, lately it's just been I haven't had a good feel the past week, right? I just haven't had a good feel, and it's tricky, right? You got, like I said, college is just really tricky right now. So I'm having to rely on some money lines. First of all, I hate betting favorites. Like if you bet favorites consistently, you'll go broke. Now look, that doesn't mean you can go taking every dog in the world because at the end of the day, it's about a 56-44 ratio, but just been a tough week. Haven't got off to the start I was looking for. We had the Avalanche. It was good. Last night, that Sunday night Penn State game just still keeps, that's still in my crawl. And then,
that was a bad
and then
one.
last night with Indiana, Iowa shoots the lights out.
They had an out-of-body experience.
And here in Indiana, so Indiana and Providence, those two games have really changed dramatically. And then, of course, it didn't matter because Indiana had already lost, but, of course, the Mavs get beat again. So for all you people, all you Kyrie lovers out there that want to chastise me, I hope now you see he sucks. Kyrie Irving blows. He hit a Game 7 shot over a great player that can't play defense. I love Steph Curry. He can't play defense.
Not really a strong suit, no.
He couldn't guard me down the ice cream aisle at your local Walmart. Okay, that's just not his game, right?
You've had a lot of practice in that aisle, though. So
I'm
it's a
very talented. Me and the cookie dough, cookies and cream. We run the pick and roll. Moose tracks.
He's
I like
not lying,
hitting them in the
folks.
post.
Yep.
But look, Kyrie Irving, everywhere he toes, everything he touches goes to hell in a handbasket. Why you would put Kyrie Irving or Russell Westbrook on your team, all they do is destroy. Look, I don't need to be on this earth when Armageddon happens. I'm seeing it every time Russell Westbrook and Kyrie Irving step on a basketball floor. They kill everything around them. And I don't want to hear, oh, you're a Kyrie basher. No, I think he's a wonderful shooter if he shoots 30 shots a game. I hope he makes some buckets. He shoots it 30 times, right? So I don't want to hear how great he is because I watched him last night play like a total buzzard. A total buzzard against a horrible team. Listen, that gay. I want to hear it. And Russell Westbrook, Clippers, good job. You sign him, you're 0-4. But it's all right. He's almost a triple-double. That's all that matters. Jeez. Kyrie Irving.
I feel like these are really bothering you.
Blasphemy ever again. Guy hits one shot, and everybody acts like he's freaking Michael Jordan. All right, hit the shot over Pippen. Hit the shot over an elite defender. Give me a break.
Yeah, you took a lot of heat for that Kyrie Irving take, too.
And you know what? I didn't have to say anything. His play shows it all. You got Luka. They were in the Western Conference Finals. Now that you're there, they'll be out in the first round.
Yeah, not very good.
Whatever.
Yeah.
He did the same thing
So you're
at
high
Duke.
on your...
He did the same thing at Boston. Look, he didn't do crap at Cleveland until LeBron came along. If he doesn't have
That's also
LeBron
true.
James, we're never talking about Kyrie Irving. All right?
Yeah.
All right, you can move on.
We'll add him to the list of people we will never get on this show, so... Yeah,
No,
awesome.
I wouldn't have him on if he paid me $1 million. I said I'd rather go talk to Frank the Trash Man about basketball.
Yeah, you might get some good nuggets from Frank. All right, let's jump into
I
a
want to talk to
little
a
Major League.
I want to talk to a real NBA stud like a Jason Tatum that's on TV right now. He's a beast. He's a winner. Kyrie Irving's not a winner. He's a whiner. There's winners and there's whiners. Kyrie's a whiner. I'm done.
People
now,
are probably going to
promise.
have a lot of fun with this one. All right, let's jump into a little
God,
MLB
tell him,
news.
kiss my ass.
Anything else? Just,
No, I think I'm good now. I got it all out.
You sure?
Yeah, I feel good
I feel
about
like
it.
he got just a little. Okay, all right, just making sure.
Hey, the Suns
All right.
won with Durant. You want to know why Durant won tonight? He didn't have to worry about Kyrie.
Yeah, probably.
Jason
Yeah,
Tatum.
Suns look good.
Class act, man.
Durant looked great. All right, focus. Baseball.
Yeah,
Major League Baseball. Spring training. Things are going, like spring training. Injury bug starting to bite though. Dodgers losing Gavin Lux for the season, tore the ACL. Tough for him.
I heard
he
that was
had
pretty ugly.
Yeah, they had to cart him off, so hate that for him.
Yeah,
And big
sucks,
loss
man.
for the
Get
Dodgers.
well,
I think
buddy.
the potential for him, I think they were very, very high on Lux. So hate to see him go out. And then Joe Musgrove out indefinitely for the Padres with a toe issue. Don't know how long that's going to be.
Something on his toe in the locker room.
Something
or something
about a broken toe. I don't know. So he's going to be out. And then the Rays ace, he's out 6 to 8 weeks as well. So the injury bug's starting to bite in spring training a little bit here.
Well, look, Glasgow, he ain't been
Yeah.
healthy since he came out of his mother's womb.
Man, you're on one tonight. You are.
Look, he's a phenomenal talent. I love him, but he can't stay healthy. I mean, I was at the DMV today and saw him in the disability line. And he's only like 26 years old. True story.
All right. I'm sure it is. Rob
I mean,
Manfred
98 mile an hour fastball in the disability line. Unreal.
Yeah. Manfred pushing for an MLB salary cap. I know we talked about this a little bit. The Players Association said they'd never agree to a cap. Manfred's pushing for a cap. I mean, I don't think it ever gets done because you have to have the players buy in, right? I'm don't necessarily think I understand the cap. Like I said, we talked about this. I think a minimum would be much more effective in making teams competitive.
Well, look, I don't think the MLB Players Association should entertain any serious conversations until there's a real leader in baseball instead of Rob. I have no idea what I'm doing, Manfred.
Yeah.
All right.
I agree with that.
You could get a better negotiation with Goofy from Disney World sitting at the table than that clown. I mean, the guy's a clown.
Goofy'd be on top of it. Yeah.
The guy's a clown. He's an uneducated clown. So, he probably drives a white van and rides around families' neighborhoods. Just look at him.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus.
You're not holding anything back tonight. Hey, your boy Tatis, shoulders almost 100%.
Don't get on a motorcycle.
Yeah, he's
don't get
he's
on a
almost
motorcycle and don't get near a needle, bro.
Yeah, those are true. But hey, that's your guy. How big of an impact is that if he can stay healthy for a full season for the Padres?
Look,
because that's obviously been the question with Tatis.
If Fernando Tatis could stay healthy, he's a candidate to be an MVP player. I mean, he's a phenomenal talent. He's young, which is why I wouldn't have given him all the money, but I get it. That's just the day and age we're in. But, I really think the Padres, they really need one or two bench coaches that are old, not old, but have been out of the league just a few years, but played a long time. Like, even if they weren't like great players, but just understand the game. And the Padres you got to give it to them, man. They went out and got Darvish, Machado, Soto. They're very young, right?
Very young.
They're very young. Even if they're not going to play, the Padres need like what the Braves needed back there in the mid-90s, old Terry Pendleton. And they brought Charlie O'Brien in, backup catcher.
Some veteran leadership is what you're looking for.
Yeah, they need the veteran old guy leadership because I think Tatis, look, again, the talent's unquestionable, but I think you need some old G's around him to explain how the game goes. Like, you can't be popping willies on motorcycles. You can't be shooting up. You got to know what you're putting in your body. Before you worry about Gatorade commercials, let's stay healthy for a year and hit 300. Like, just because I think he's a good kid. I really do. I think Tatis is a good kid at his core, and God knows he's a phenomenal talent. I think they just need some vets around him because that team's young. I mean, I'm just thinking off the top of my head, God, Machado's probably one of the oldest ones on the team, for God's sakes.
Probably, yeah.
I mean,
I think
so.
You see that when teams bring in that veteran leadership, right? It changes that clubhouse, or that changes that locker room. It changes the mentality, and it kind of prepares these younger players to go out and face what they're going to have to face. I mean, sometimes when you're young, you don't think it all the way through, right? You don't think about the process from start to finish, but you have these veterans that have done this for years and years and years, and they can bring that wisdom every day into the clubhouse of how things should be done and how it is successful. So I think that's really, really important for young players. I think the Padres could benefit from that greatly.
Well,
got to have that veteran leadership.
And a good example is us, right? Two young, good-looking, successful, out-of-the-box guys. What do we need? We need an old guy with some gray highlights, so we brought AJ in.
Yeah, there you go. Absolutely. Yeah. He helps make us look more sophisticated.
Yeah.
Just the beard. Just the beard.
Yeah, the beard. Yeah. And he's got the little gray on the side there that comes through.
Yeah.
But, But look how much better he's made us with his knowledge.
True.
Yeah. Good. That's my boy. My boy, Blue.
All right, let's turn our attention to a little NBA news here. Obviously, one of the big ones, LeBron expected to miss some significant time with injury. Lakers were already trending downward, right? They've been struggling since the break. What does this do for them going forward? Obviously, without LeBron.
I've always been torn on LeBron. You know that, right? Mm-hmm. Half of me's a fan, half of me's not. But I think what he's did for the game. I mean, the guy's a top 5 player all the time. All right, let's just cut it what it is. And the things he's done for the game's been phenomenal. But man, I really feel bad for him. Yeah. Because the only reason they're even legitimately still in it is he is 38 years old just willing them. Right? And so you finally get, hats off to Rob Pelinka, they finally get rid of the vampire, a.k.a. Russell Westbrook, rather. I mean, why anybody lets that guy shoot a jump shot? I mean, when he goes to put like toast in the toaster, his kids should like slap it away. You're not allowed to shoot anything anywhere. But the fact he goes down, man, because Pelinka did a good job. He got, I mean, Vanderbilt, right? D'Angelo Russell. I mean, they got the right pieces. And after that first game with all of them back, and Anthony Davis, of course, right? I mean, Anthony Davis, we've talked about this time and time again. The guy could go down as a top 10 NBA player if he could have ever stayed healthy. He might be one of the most pure, talented people I've ever seen. I mean, you got to remember, he had that late growth spur in high school, so he's a point guard that's 7 feet, right? So, like, the fact he hasn't been able to stay healthy has ruined his career and really derailed the Lakers. I mean, let's be honest. When LeBron and Anthony Davis are both healthy, the Lakers are a top 3-4 team in the West and a championship contender. I know that sounds crazy.
Agree with that.
But, like, you can't expect LeBron at 38 to carry the team. I mean, that's just stupid. So they make some good trades. They get Vanderbilt and Russell and these other couple pieces, and I'm like, okay, after I see him, all right, if they can just get in and avoid the play-in, right, get to that 6 seed, I was sitting there saying, all right, if they can avoid Denver and Phoenix in the first round, depending on the draw, I could see them winning a series, maybe 2, getting to the Western Conference Finals. Swear to God. And then D'Angelo Russell goes down the other night with a sprained ankle, and I'm like, well, here's LeBron. He's got to score 40 now. And then LeBron goes down, and I said, that's it. Because 2 weeks, they're going to evaluate him in 2 weeks. There is no way that team can stay afloat without him.
No.
But then the disappointing thing is, and I never want to attack a guy for saying he's not hurt. Okay? Mm-hmm. But I'm just going, and everybody's going to be like, think I'm an idiot. But my left foot, from where the toe meets the rest of the foot, I think I was telling AJ this, is an absolute disaster. I can't walk on it. All right? Do you know what I did this morning? I still went to the gym for 2 hours on the treadmill and then working out. And I've been limping around. You know what I'm going to get up and do here in 6 hours? The same thing all over again.
Should probably switch to the elliptical.
Jake was saying I needed to do the stair stepper thing.
No. The bike or something, man. Get off that thing. Give it some rest. I don't know what's going on.
I know, but it's hurting. Yeah, I got ice. I mean, it's hurting.
Or that, at Planet Fitness, at Planet Fitness, they have that little thing that you can do this on that the old people use. You should do that for a little while. Maybe you trade out your car.
Do the hand bike. Get after it.
Biker thing.
Yeah, it doesn't sound
good.
That's
what it is, right? Isn't that like arm bike or whatever?
So,
go for it.
I mean, my legs are exhausted. So anyway, I'm just saying, as soon as LeBron gets hurt, you would think, because the whole Lakers franchise kind of goes, all right, AD, you got to keep us afloat for 2 weeks. And then what does AD do right on cue? I got to take a night off. I'm a little banged up.
Yep.
What?
Man,
dude, unless you lost a limb, get your ass on the court now. I'm sorry. The guy's a wuss. I'm sorry. He's a wuss. Again,
I think you're right.
Picture.
I think you're right, John. I mean, with LeBron, if they needed LeBron and AD. They needed everybody somewhat healthy to make a run here, and I just think at this point now it's completely done. And
it's over.
Man, dude, I saw Triple J. Was it last night? The meanest dunk I've seen all year, maybe in the last 2 or 3 years, over AD on that putback. I don't know if you guys saw it. Like, it was holy cow.
Jared Jackson just piped it on him.
Oh my gosh, I was like. I turned it on because, we're in Nashville, close to Memphis, so I kind of want to, I'm curious about what the Grizzlies do here. And of course, the Lakers too, being the home state as well. But, man, I turned it on within 30 seconds that happened. I was like, that's it. That's all I needed to see. But I agree. They needed them all healthy to make a run, and I don't think it's going to happen at this point. No.
Yeah, and Anthony Davis, maybe I'm being too hard on him, but again, I remember seeing Kobe, knees wrapped, arms wrapped, drinking a Gatorade, came back out and played 38 minutes the next night.
Yep.
I'm sorry. I can't help it if I'm old school. I don't care how, unless you physically can't walk, you're in the home stretch to make the playoffs. Get your ass on the court.
Yeah.
You're getting paid. All right. And I don't want to hear about owners. I don't want to hear about doctors, because at the end of the day, the player can walk in there and say, it's going to go down like this. Either I'm going to play, or I'm going to go out here in front of the world and media and tell them what you're telling me to do, and I'm going to demand a trade.
Yep.
Because I don't buy all this hype that it's all the owners either. Why would the owners want the star players to protect their investment? They sell more tickets if they play and their playoff position gets better. Do either one of y'all get that logic? I don't.
Actually, Charles Barkley had a good, I don't know if you saw this the other night, good comment about this, and quote him here. It says, he says, wait a minute, you're going to make $70 million. You can't play basketball 3 or 4 days a week. They fly private. They have the best medical stuff ever created. People working in the steel mill every day. I'm pretty sure they're tired too, but they go to work every day.
Yeah. Sorry. And all you,
it's a perfect take by Chuck.
All you renegades out there are going to go running, protecting your favorite player out there on social media. I can hear you now, but look, they're a bunch of wusses, man. They are. Kevin Durant. All right. Look, when Durant can hoop, Durant hoops. I never question him. Joel Embiid. Every night it's questionable because his foot's bad. He's always had foot issues all the way back to Kansas. Guess what? Embiid suits up. Giannis, I just saw, was supposed to have, they say was going to be out a couple weeks with his hand.
Yeah.
He's out there playing the other night, and then he hurts his knees, and then he plays the next night. I'm like, God, Giannis, you're like an old dude.
And I think it's kind of crazy because we grew up watching.
We were spoiled.
I grew up watching the end of the great NBA.
I got all the 80s and 90s. I got the best the NBA ever was, ever will be.
But I got the last great era of NBA basketball. I got to watch.
Mm-hmm.
And they suited up every night. They played, and the game was far more physical than it was 10 times more physical.
Look,
you drive the lane and just get, hammered. Now you can't even play defense.
Look,
so I just don't get it.
90% of the league couldn't play basketball back then, and those guys in that league would dominate these little pups. You give those guys back then the science and the I don't want to call it technology, but the learning more about the body and how to physically take care of your body more, and the endurance and all the science that helps endurance and all that, and the weights and all. You give that to those cats. Because I don't want to hear none about no Anthony Davis or not. Because Karl Malone and Patrick Ewing would have beat the snot out of you every night.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
They would have beat the snot out of you every
You'd
night.
have been praying for a night off.
All right? In the words of Steven Jackson, who was a very good NBA defender, had a nice NBA career, he said Jordan at 55 could still average 25 in this league. And people might say, well, Jordan only averaged 22, which it's funny because Jordan in his last year played every game with the Wizards, and it was important to him to do that. People forget he donated his whole year's basketball salary to all the 9/11 victims. That doesn't get talked about, but Jordan actually made a comment that said 20 years from now, it's funny, right? He said 20 years from now, you won't get guys to play a full season.
Yep.
And he was right. He was right.
He was right. Yeah, I think Rodman made the comment, it's been a couple years, in an interview. They asked him, how many points do you think Jordan would average in today's NBA? He said 50.
Oh, absolutely. 50. Not being able to touch, not being able to hand check. I mean, look, Joe Dumars and Isaiah Thomas for the Pistons, bro, they'd pick you up 3/4 court and were like dry humping you all down the court. And kudos to them.
Yep.
Two of the best defenders. I mean, that Pistons defensive team.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
they were hellacious.
Well, yeah, them and the Knicks. I don't know if it was defense or UFC, but they called it defense back then.
I mean,
right?
It was
so
UFC before UFC was UFC. So
yeah. So I mean, I don't even want to hear about these cats. And look, there are some that could play. LeBron would still be a great player even in that era. He wouldn't average the points he averages because he wouldn't be able to just truck down the lane and run over people. But LeBron would still be effective. Giannis would be effective. Steph Curry's the one that's really – Steph Curry should go down as one of the greats ever because he helped –
He's one of the best shooters ever.
Well, not just that. He's changed the whole game. From middle school all the way up to him. Steph Curry has changed the game and the way it's played and the shooting and all that jazz. So, I mean, it's just like this kid from Detroit, Davis, that's about to break the all-time scoring record in college of Pistol Pete's. But he did in like double the games Pistol Pete did.
Oh, Pistol Pete was.
And if there was a 3-point line.
If you guys have never watched, if people listening have never gone back and watched.
Hold on real quick. Pistol Pete averaged 44 points a game that year in less games. And they said if there was a 3-point line, they went back, he would have averaged 56 points a game. So this kid might break the record tomorrow night for Detroit Mercy. But to me, you didn't really break the record, dude. I mean, twice as many games, and I think he's got like 3,000 more of his points are from the free 3-point line or something crazy like that.
Yeah. Yeah, if anybody listening has never gone back and watched footage of Pistol Pete Maravich, you have to go pull it up on YouTube. Watch this guy shoot. Watch the ball handling skills. I mean, incredible. Before his time, really. But if you've never watched, you have to watch some Pistol Pete footage. He was incredible, absolutely incredible.
Yeah, he was.
All right, so the next one, obviously, big night for the Suns. Kevin Durant suits up for his first game in Phoenix and has a hell of a night. He played really, really well. 27 minutes, 23 points. So,
yeah, I mean, Durant was a monster, dude. Look, when healthy, I still think he's the scariest offensive player in the game. When healthy. I mean, look, he's 7 foot and can pull it from anywhere and can hand. I mean, look, there's a lot of good players in this league. I love Giannis. You know what I mean? LeBron, Jokic, everybody's all on John Morant. Yeah, he's okay. But look, Durant is still the scariest. Durant's the scariest player on the offensive end if he's healthy in the league, in my opinion. And I don't even think it's close.
He's really
That's just
good.
me.
He's really good. I'll give you that.
Man, this Devils Avalanche game is crazy. There's 8 minutes in the second period. It's 5-4. These are two good defensive teams. If we could come back and win, the Devils. Dear God, if I lose
the Devils and the White Sox.
Yeah.
Are we starting off the baseball season just saying we're not going to bet the White Sox?
No, I'm not saying that because Tony La Russa isn't there. So I'm thinking now they did lose Abreu to the Astros. So White Sox are going to look a little different. They missed their window.
Yeah. Next one here, NBA. Steph Curry looking to make his comeback next week. Obviously, this is a huge boost for Golden State if he can get back healthy. What do you think? For Golden State, looking forward to the playoffs, they get in. How big of a run do you think they can make here if Curry can stay healthy?
Well, I think a huge run. I think it's a 3-team race. the Nuggets, the Suns, and the Warriors. It's going to be one of those three teams. Nobody else has a shot. I don't want to hear the Clippers. They got Westbrook, so he's killed them off. Along with, you never know how much Kawhi can give you. Maybe he'll play, maybe he won't. The Kings, I like what the Kings got, but the Kings are young, man. They don't have enough star power to get past these teams. Dallas, they got Kyrie, so their life is over.
That's done.
The Pelicans, they're a disaster. I know Zion's been out, but all that talent they got. That's
another guy who just cannot stay healthy. Like Zion, great player, can't stay healthy.
Even without him, Valanciunas, Ingram, McCollum, Graham, they just can't. They were so hot. I don't know what their deal is, man. Yeah, and that's really it. The West isn't. I think it's Denver, Golden State, and Phoenix. By far, I don't think anybody else can challenge those three.
Yeah. I would agree with
the
that.
Lakers with a healthy LeBron and AD, but now if the Lakers get in, it's going to be a play-in. So now you're probably forced playing Denver the first round. That's not going to go well. So,
yeah, it's true. Yeah. All right, we're going to turn our attention to some go ahead.
I like, man, I want to say the Suns because I want to see Chris Paul get a ring. I want to see Durant get the monkey off his back. But I'm going to hold steady against my better judgment. And I'm going to go Warriors-Celtics rematch.
And then who wins it?
Celtics get them this time.
You think?
Look, not because I'm a fan, but the Celtics got to win the title this year. They got to blow that thing up.
Yeah, probably not wrong there. I don't know. It'd be a good series. I think
this is the Celtics year. This is the Celtics year. And if they get to the finals, we're going to do a live podcast pregame show in Boston, in Beantown.
Really?
Yeah. Right. Even if it's from a corner deli that's getting robbed down there in the hood.
Yeah, that might be the only
Folks,
place.
live podcast. Just saw a bag of money run out the donut shop, but
yeah, hey. Do what you got to do to make it, right? All right. Turn our attention to a little NHL news. Obviously, the trade deadline, been a lot of moving and shaking. A lot of teams. We've talked about this one a couple times. I even said I thought this was going to get done here real quick. Patrick Kane has been dealt to the Rangers. Obviously, hate to see him leave Chicago, but I think Chicago's to the point now where it's rebuild time there. So hopefully they can get that franchise back together. Because it's great seeing the Blackhawks be competitive, right? And they struggled the last couple of years, obviously with a lot of injuries. So bittersweet to see Kane go. But what's this do for the Rangers? Patrick Kane's still a very, very good player.
Well, they won 3-2 tonight over the Flyers. The Rangers got some talent. They're just young. I think the Rangers are another year away. They're not going to be able to compete with Boston, Tampa, and if this is the year, like you say, that the Maple Leafs shake a tree, so to speak.
Hey, could be.
I think I think going into next year, that should be the year of the Rangers. And look, I'm watching this Carolina Hurricanes game right now. We got the Knights, but the Hurricanes are tough too. The Rangers can't come out of the East. They don't. Kane will help, but you'll need to see him for a full season next season.
Yeah. Next one here, Leafs trade Sandin to the Caps. So Caps getting a little bit better too. We talked about them. We think they get in to this thing. Can they make some noise, though? Can they make a run?
Who, the Caps?
Yeah. Do you not listen to me? What are you looking at? Focus.
I was tweeting out about our Sun Celtics moneyline parlay winner. Don't you think
don't
that's
need to tweet that right now. Tweet it after the show.
All right, fine. I'll put my phone down.
Look, we're getting ready to do a live show in a couple weeks. I need you to be crisp. I need you to be locked in.
I'm locked in. I told you.
You're not locked in. You're looking at your phone.
How much more locked in you need me?
Yeah, we can't. We talked
Caps,
about that 20 minutes ago.
I love my Caps. I love Ovi. I could see them winning a series, not much more than that. They're just not the same team that won the Cup a couple years ago. I mean, that team, in all seriousness, I hate to say this, but the Caps really need to, now's the time to purr it back and rebuild it.
Yeah.
And just keep,
there's a lot of teams in that situation.
Ovi there as a, I don't want to say statue or, you know, he's your pillar, right? He hopefully breaks Gretzky's scoring record. But outside of him, rebuild the team and maybe give him another shot in 2 years before he leaves to get another one. But they need to rebuild that team and rebuild it quickly because the pieces they got, yes, they're a playoff team. They're not a Stanley Cup Finals contender.
Not right now. I don't think in their current form. But, I mean, if they put some pieces around him over the next – because how much longer we think Ovi plays? He's probably got a few more years left in him, right?
I think they said something about to break the record if he had 50 goals. I want to say it was like he had 4 years. That was including this year. I don't know where his points is at right off the bat, but, I mean, I'd say he plays for another 2-3 years probably. Yeah. So, I mean, if he's 3 years, now, like I said, now's the time to pare it down and maybe get a team because he can still score the puck. I mean, in his brain, he's he's the best I've ever seen. I know you're a Crosby guy, but I've never seen anybody better than Ovi.
I think they played two completely different styles, though. It's like comparing apples and oranges. Comparing Ovechkin to Crosby or Crosby to Ovechkin is not a fair comparison for either one of those players.
But see, I'm different than you. I don't think Crosby is better than Lemieux was. You do. But you're just a Sid the Kid fan.
Yeah, I mean, Crosby, I think him and Ovechkin have been the two best players in the league for a while. McDavid's very good now.
In my lifetime.
Sidney Crosby is filthy.
In my lifetime, Ovi 1, Gretzky 2, Lemieux 3.
Yeah.
In my lifetime.
And the thing about Lemieux that's heartbreaking too is injury just kind of, I mean, really stunted what his career could have been. I mean, he had a great career, but it could have been even better if he could have stayed healthy. And you look at a lot of, you know, Crosby was pretty healthy in the early years, and then he had a stretch there with concussions and stuff where he struggled to stay healthy.
Him and Malkin, both of them.
Yep. So you think of where, I mean, Crosby has achieved a ton. You think of him, he could have even been better if he could have stayed healthy because he had a stretch there where it's a few seasons he couldn't stay healthy. Concussions really plagued him for a while. So like we talk about, sometimes injuries bite players. But I think Sidney Crosby is one of the best players ever. I think Ovechkin's one of the best players ever. They play two very different styles. You can't fairly compare them to one another, but they're both incredible players, incredible talents.
Ovi's still the best player I've ever seen. Gretzky's too.
Well, I mean, hey, that's your opinion. You're entitled to your opinion.
And it's always generally the right one. So there you go.
I wouldn't say always. That's not true at all. Jonathan Quick traded from the Kings to Columbus. Obviously, Quick with the Kings 16 seasons.
Well, that didn't go slow, did it?
No. He's obviously very frustrated, wanting to see his career end a little differently with LA. This is a tough one, man. I mean, obviously it's a business. You're moving players. You're trying to, but you hate to see. I mean, Jonathan Quick has been the face of the Kings for how long? And so
and
to
who
see
got him again?
Columbus. You know who could have used him? The Oilers. Maybe.
No kidding. I mean,
wouldn't have been a bad move. Hey, Edmonton missed an opportunity.
The Kings are still in the playoff hunt, though.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, I mean,
so I just hate to see Quick go.
Look, I mean, they weren't trying to free up cap room. They were ticked off at Quick. I mean, if you get shipped to Columbus, I mean, that means you really picked the wrong battle with the front office.
Yeah, you pissed off somebody real bad to get shipped off to Columbus. Now, if we have any Columbus listeners, I'm sure it's a lovely place. We're just
it is. Columbus is actually nice. I like Columbus, but the Blue Jackets, not very good.
Not very good. Yeah. As soon as I saw this, I was like, man, Edmonton, you really missed an opportunity. Like, you need help, guys. It's
Oilers are up 5-2 tonight on the Maple Leafs. What's that tell you about the Maple Leafs? All that talent, and you can't beat the Oilers?
Well, how much time's left, though?
Like 4 minutes.
Oilers are going to lose 6-5. Here it comes. I'm telling you. Just wait a couple minutes.
Wait for it.
Yeah, a couple more here. Jakob Chychrun traded to the Senators. Big pickup for Ottawa. Great player there. Dylan Larkin signs an 8-year extension with Detroit, so he's going to be a Red Wing for a while. That's their captain currently. And then the Canucks trade for Flip Hronek. I think this is a good pickup for them as well. So lots of moving and shaking in the NHL right now. Trade deadline.
The Canucks ain't making no daggone playoffs. Playoffs.
I mean, they're just trying to better their team, man. Lots of movement. I think there's going to be a lot more players dealt. Have I ever
Nobody
been
gives
to
a darn about Vancouver.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure the people who live in Vancouver like Vancouver.
I bet you they don't.
Sure, it's a beautiful place. I went to Victoria.
Look, it
when
was
we went on
so
that Alaska
bad.
cruise. It was awesome. Loved it.
It was so bad the Grizzlies got out of there.
Yeah. All right. Well, I guess we're done with NHL news. Let's turn our attention to a little NCAA football. So obviously a big story right now. Presumably potential number one pick in this year's NFL draft, Jalen Carter. Having some issues. Obviously, they had a player and staff member pass away in a car accident with Georgia. Was been now a month, few weeks.
Yeah.
And come to find out, Jalen Carter is going to be charged with reckless driving and street racing. Apparently, he was racing the other vehicle that the two people were in that passed away. Some more details are coming out about that. He is going to return to Athens to discuss everything that's gone on with the authorities. Not going to be at the combine. Obviously, this changes his draft prospects drastically. And it's really hard to know where this one's going to go. I mean, this is very obviously, we're continuing to get information on this all the time. We don't want to speak out of turn or speak incorrectly. Wanted to talk about it and bring it up on the show because it is very current right now. But man, this is a difficult situation all the way around. Obviously, the tragedy of the accident in the first place was heartbreaking. You never want to see that. And then as we get more details, this thing just kind of gets worse and worse as we go along.
This happened after the national championship game, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, man, this is a tough one. Jalen Carter's a phenomenal talent. I think he's the best player in the draft outside of Thompson, the wide receiver from TCU, and Mayer and Kincaid. Those are my four. And again, that's personal preference, folks. Don't kill me. It's just what I like.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this. To anybody out there listening, if you're under the age of 30, really listen up. Decisions you make will come back and haunt you. And look, I did a lot of dumb stuff. I shouldn't even be sitting in this chair right now. I mean, I don't even want to think about where I should be. I mean, I just have not, there were just times in my life I did not live the life I should have lived. But for those of you over 30, and again to you, those of you under 30, either way, it doesn't matter what you do, it will come to light at some point in time. Mm-hmm. It may take a while, right? It's like the serial killer, right? That, they're on the brink of it, and then all of a sudden, like, bodies start popping up, and he got away with it for 6 or 7 years. But eventually, you got everything you do bad in life, it will find you. It'll come back around. You can't bury anything. And look, in the day and times we live in now with social media, all that, like, you can't get away from anything. Mm-hmm. And I mean, the kid apparently, from what I was listening to this morning, he's given the cops 3 different stories now about his whereabouts once it happened. He was behind them, saw the lights, then he was beside them. Then, look, the truth will set you free.
Mm-hmm.
And so just my whole thing in this to everybody is the truth will set you free. And, you know, it's sad. It's really sad that you got this kid Miller from Alabama, the basketball player, and we got this whole gun thing, and now this with Jalen Carter. I mean, these aren't kids. First of all, I don't care what their background is. All right? No matter what their background is, you're the defensive tackle of a two-time national champion. You're a two-time national champion, and you're going to be a top 5 pick. And Miller is an amazing talent. Alabama is going to be a top 5 NBA pick when he comes out. So regardless of your situation or how bad it is, all you got to do is not mess up. I mean, you just got to go to class, treat women with respect, stay away from drugs and guns and alcohol, and you're set for life. So again, we all have opportunities to do the right thing, and you can't bury anything in this world. It will come back and find you. And, you know, I don't know what the outcome's going to be, but it'll be a shame. You know, I always go back to the Len Bias story. And we talk about the Celtics and we talk about Bird's championships. You know, if Len Bias, and a lot of y'all don't know who he was, Len Bias would have walked in the league and been the best player in the league. I mean, he was dominating Jordan in college. That Celtics team was going to have Len Bias, Kevin McHale, Larry Bird, and Robert Parrish. The Lakers and Magic Johnson may not even have won a title, folks. Magic's first and only title might have been there in 80. So it just goes to show decisions changed a lot of people's career. And I'm not bashing Magic. I love Magic Johnson, but I'm just saying one mistake can cost you everything. And so just think before you do, because we got this young man that, look, at the top of my board, I got him as the number 1 pick if the Bears keep it. At worst, I got him falling to 3 to Arizona. I mean, now the kid might be facing a murder charge. I mean, it's just really sad. So,
yep, absolutely. Yeah, tough one. Like I said, it's just current events. We wanted to make sure we covered it, but really difficult situation. Obviously difficult to talk about.
It's like the Alabama thing. It's just difficult, man.
It's been awful for Georgia. Like I said, obviously the loss of life is awful, and then this. It's
and
just
right
a
after
tough
a national
situation.
championship game.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Yep. Absolutely. So we're gonna turn our attention to a little NFL news. Your boy Carson Wentz, I'm sure you cried sweet tears for losing your guy, but they have cut Carson Wentz in Washington. Expected if they would have kept him on the roster, they would have ended up having to pay a lot more of that contract.
Look,
so
let me tell you something.
It was a no-brainer to offload him. But does he have the potential to go anywhere else and be a relevant quarterback, or is his career pretty much done at this point?
Well, before I comment on that, I mean, this past week, I've had to be like, have I died and gone to, am I alive? Because, I mean, the Redskins get a true offensive coordinator. They cut Carson Wentz and they franchise Payne. I mean, they haven't made good decisions like that since Joe Gibbs. I felt like Lombardi. What the hell is going on around here? Did somebody fire Rivera and I didn't hear? Did Snyder sell the team?
No, but I think if there's when there's a new owner come in, because man, God, that's been a circus, and it just gets more of a circus by the day. Team
Snyder,
finally
would you just sell, for the love of God? Just sell. I mean, how much money do you want? You're going to get $8 billion for them.
Yeah. Please just let it go. I think Rivera does not stay the head coach. I just can't. If a new owner comes in, do you really think they're going to keep Ron Rivera as the head coach? I just can't see it.
No, they're going to swing big. They're going to swing for like a Sean McVay.
Yeah.
Or a Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah, but I don't think they're going to lure either of those guys, do you?
Money talks, bro. Money talks.
Yeah. I still got to find a quarterback.
I mean,
So the second part of that, Carson Wentz, do you think this is it? Do you think he can go somewhere else and be?
I say who would start him, but God, you look at some of the quarterbacks around the league. I mean,
I don't know.
The Raiders.
Is there anywhere you think he could go and be successful?
The Raiders?
Yeah.
Frank Reich ain't going to take him back at Carolina.
Colts need a quarterback, but
Saints? He's not going back to Indy.
You just think about the people who need quarterbacks. Panthers
Arizona?
need a quarterback. Well, yeah, maybe because
Murray's going to be out for a while. He can be a backup /
Yeah, they may just roll with McCoy, though.
There's not a whole lot of places for him.
Who's going to be the quarterback in Tampa?
Well, the stupid GM thinks Brady's coming back. That idiot. He's in denial.
Brady's done. Did you hear Brady stand-up comedian is maybe on?
Dude, he's hilarious
for him. Yeah.
Me and TB12. He's TB12. I'm TB21.
It just gets weirder. So
I'm watching this Northwestern Penn State game. Last night I had to watch, or Sunday night I had to watch Penn State. The guy that went 0 for 12 from 3 just banged one in to tie. The gambling gods are they're really messing with me right now. Little buzzards.
Sometimes you have those weeks. It happens. So, obviously some options. I think, honestly, the Raiders wouldn't be bad, but we still have, I don't know where Garoppolo's going to go. We don't know where Lamar's going to go. GM said they have no intention of getting rid of Lamar. They want to sign Lamar
ain't going back to Baltimore. Lamar ain't going back to
either.
Baltimore. That's not happening.
Unless they just throw a ton of money at him. And then maybe. You never know.
They're not guaranteeing that deal. If they haven't did it now, what's going to make them do it?
Yeah, that's true. Derek Carr,
Carson Wentz, the Raiders go to Arizona to back up until Murray gets back. And quite honestly, the Saints, because I don't think Carr, I guess he's meeting with the Saints again this week. But I do not understand this Derek Carr. I don't understand this Derek Carr to the Saints thing. It just makes no sense.
So he's going to meet with 3 teams actually at the Combine. He's going to meet with the Panthers, the Jets again, and the Saints. I don't understand the Saints one. Panthers are intriguing. They need some pieces, though. They need some offensive weaponry for him. Out of those 3, I think the Jets make the most sense, but I still think, from my perspective, his best fit's in Washington.
The Jets better. God bless. Add Penn State to the list of teams not to bet.
It's all right. There's still time left, right?
There's 1:30 and ticking. They hit another 3 because they'll hit one if I don't need them to win. So they're up 2. Northwestern with the ball. Northwestern just bricking it up.
There's still time. Hang in there.
All right, it's tied 61-61, minute 18, Penn State ball. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. The Jets better sign Carr now. Aaron Rodgers is not leaving Green Bay. It is not
going
happening.
back to the Packers. Yep.
He is not leaving Green Bay. This whole thing has been a drama queen. Pay attention to me. He is not leaving them.
Yeah, I don't think at this point he is either. I think he's going to stay right there. We talked about on the last episode, they've restructured some contracts. They have a little room with the cap. I think they're going to go out and add a piece. Defensively, they were pretty good. Offensively, if they can, pull it together, add a piece like a D Hopkins we talked about. They can make a run.
D Hopkins, I feel like they can make a run. I'm with you.
Yeah,
or
absolutely.
Look, if they get D Hopkins, and I told you Daniel Jeremiah had him taking Kincaid at 15, the tight end out of Utah. Look, those 2 weapons, along with the young kids, Dobbs and Watson. Maybe the North goes from being a bad division to getting 3 teams, Vikings,
Maybe.
Lions, and Packers all get in because it ain't going to be the NFC least.
Yeah,
Washington
definitely.
don't have a quarterback. The Giants are going to regress because Daniel Jones can't throw over 15 touchdowns. And, well, Dallas has Dak, and that's all I really got to say about that.
I think that's really all you need to say. I think you covered it. So,
Yeah.
A couple more notes here. Giants, speaking of them, they have cut Kenny Galladay. They just signed him to that huge $72 million contract in 2021. So, interesting to see them offload him. I'm sure he will have suitors looking to take him on. And then the Chargers, not trading Keenan Allen is the word out of there. They're going to.
Well, good. They shouldn't.
No, you got to keep Allen. I mean, last thing you want to do is start removing pieces.
Yeah, you got him and Mike Williams. Why would you trade?
Yep, absolutely. So, I never thought that was really a thing, them getting rid of Allen. I guess there were some rumblings from people thinking that's the way they were going to go, but they're firmly in that he will remain a Charger, and he should. I mean, look, the Chargers, if they had a coach and an offensive coordinator that were competent, may be able to make some noise.
Twice a year, they're going to be able to look across the sidelines and see Sean Payton and his crew and be like, we could have had that.
Yep, absolutely. All right, I think that's all the news for me. What do you have in John's betting corner tonight other than sweating out this Northwestern game? And
well, 39.2 seconds. 39.2 seconds. We're tied 61-61. This is a huge possession here. We need the bucket. But look, we're going into, conference tournament started this week. Again, this last week of the college season's real tricky because you got senior nights factored in. You got who does and who doesn't need the game. Northwestern we're going to lose this. Penn State's going to hit a buzzer beater here with 15 seconds. Unreal. But look, again, I was texting two guys last night and they were like, 1-3, blah, 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 juice, this, that, the other. Just remember that this is a body of work, guys. This isn't a one night thing, right? So you can't let one or two nights define you. You can't let a week define you, right? So we're going into the tournament. I'm trying to be a little cautious because I think between the conference tournaments and the big tournament, we can still get to where we need to be. We're at 286 going into tonight. And then so far tonight, we're 1-1. So we're holding at 286 games over. I'm still shooting for that 304, which would mean I need 18. I think we get that at least. So, you just got to stay the course and not. You can't get excited because, we were hot. Now I'm going to keep loading up. Like, just play it the way you're supposed to. Your money management, your discipline. Don't worry about picking winners. I mean, nobody picks more winners than me. It's just a thing. It doesn't happen. Nobody else can do it. Not like I do. So all you got to do is just, I've said this many a times, put the bets in. God, don't even watch the games. You hear me over here? I'm sweating them out for you. Go have dinner with your family. Play with your kids. Again, it's different because it's instant and you can watch it. But once you really get to the mind of looking at it like the stock market, it will change your life and make you feel so much better, right? And you'll just see the money continue to pile up as time goes on. So, stay locked in, stay where you're supposed to mentally with your discipline. Hey, I'm not betting more than 5% of my bankroll. That way I can withstand the 20-unit loss because you're not going to lose that, right? I had a couple guys say, hey, do I need to slow down do I need to back down my bet or whatever? No, you don't need to do that. You need to stay where you're at. Once you get to an amount, you should never have to go backwards as long as you do the same money management that I tell you to do. So again, stay locked in, stay focused, don't get too high, too low. We'll have a great conference tournament week. The back half of this week and next week, we'll have a great tournament, right? Picked up some winner, had the winner with the money line parlay tonight in the NBA. Hopefully these hockey games shake out. If nothing else, if I had my pick, I would rather lose the Avalanche and win the Knights because we would pick up like $10 on every 100, right? Because Knights plus $1.20, Avalanche for minus $1.10. So if I got to have a split, I'd rather have the nights, but I'd like to have them both. But, we're 1-1, 3 games to go here. But again, don't, the other thing is, I know it's really hard. Don't go playing a bunch of your own stuff, right? Again, you pay me to do my job. I asked a guy, he says, I'm a photographer. I said, well, if I needed wedding pictures, should I take them or should I hire you? And, he goes, well, those are memories. You don't want to do them if you don't have experience. I said, there you go. You answered my question for me. Right? So you guys pay me, let me do my job. Not every night's going to be good. Not every week's going to be good. I'm going to lose 3 months out of the year, but it's still all going to shake out like it needs to. So just relax and stay the course.
Yep, absolutely. And Northwestern is going to overtime. So
I just saw
there's still a chance.
Nobody's listening, Bonnie.
All right. Well, I think that's the show for us tonight.
You got some news? You share.
No,
you keep making me share all this news.
Go for it, man. I know you get a kick out of it. You love it. It hypes you up.
Yeah,
I'm hyped up enough, man.
So we had a nice call today with those people from Penn and Hollywood Casino there. So we'll be live for you guys from the Barstool Sportsbook. They're in Hollywood Casino in Charlestown, West Virginia. So please, if you're in the area, March 11th from 1 p.m. to 3 p.m., we'll be doing a live podcast. It'll also be streamed for all of you guys that follow us on YouTube live. So please check it out, check into it. There will be some cool things that Hollywood's promoting if you come out, and they'll have some cool giveaways and whatnot. And also, get signed up for our bracket challenge. We're going to do a Bustin' Chops Calling Shots bracket challenge. Chop came up with that, so we got to work that all out and figure out how to get it to where you can submit those, and then we'll track them. And we'll see who gets the Bustin' Chops Calling Shots trophy for 2023.
Yeah. I mean, I'm excited about this. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. Gets people involved. And who doesn't love a trophy if you get to win, man? And the bragging rights that go with it.
We're not allowed to play, though, because that way, I don't want to. But, yeah, get them in. And I want to figure out a way to post them, too. Like, on the website. Like, so you can see everybody's bracket, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how to do that. Jake's the brains behind all that, but figure that out.
Yeah, we'll have to work with Jake on that and get it done. But I'm excited. I think that's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's a big thing. And then you guys will be able to follow me March. So we'll do that on Saturday. Tuesday, I'm flying out to Vegas. Tuesday night, the King Thompson radio show. You can pull that on Odyssey. But you'll be able to hear me Tuesday and Wednesday night break down every game with the lines. And then at BCCS Sports, y'all be able to follow me for everything. The Twitter, on Twitter for our contest. We'll be in the Station Casino Last Man Standing and the competition at the Westgate. Superbook there. So, yeah, excited. Fun times are coming. If we can pull out this Northwestern, right, and we split hockey, we go 3-2.
Yep, I'll take that.
I'll take
it. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited. Still think it's crazy somebody's having us come to a live show. Don't worry, everyone. I will do my best to keep John on track so we still have a podcast after this thing. Try to keep him in line. You all know that's a full-time job, though, but I will do my best. So,
and all my winners out there, I need y'all. I'm rallying the troops. I need you. Philadelphia is only 3.5 hours away. Whoever can get Aaron Dolan to show up.
Oh my God!
Free picks for life.
Free picks for life.
Free picks for life.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
I'm gonna guess she has something.
There's something out there
to
for your
do
boy,
that weekend.
fellas and ladies.
Good. Yeah, I don't have words.
No,
right, on
not
that
the
note,
good Lord. I found the good Lord, and I'm a believer in Jesus Christ. I'm trying to get Aaron Dolan down. You didn't hear me.
Yeah, we're gonna end this just before it gets weirder than it already is. So I hope you all have a great weekend. We'll be back with another episode for you on Monday. Have a great weekend. Enjoy it, everyone. Lots of conference tournaments kicking off this week into next week. I will be actually at the Big 12 opening night next Wednesday here at T-Mobile Center in Kansas City. So if you're in the area, want to stop by, say hi. I'll be walking around drinking beer, watching basketball. So excited for all the tournaments coming up. Excited for the big tournament. we're going to have a lot of fun. Lots of fun stuff coming, but hope you all have a great weekend and enjoy.
Hey, love you, my winners. Hey, follow on Twitter, too. We'll have the golf out early Thursday morning. I'm going to put it up tonight.